Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Today we try out the 2013 Jaguar Xf. Now, I've been a few years removed from testing the Jaguars as I took a little hiatus from the auto review segment. Now, basically what I remember back in the day is the X-Type, the S-Type, and things like that. And what I recall is, of course, they were kind of the entry level. Jaguar, I guess, was maybe dabbling in kind of some econo line versions. Now, the XF is not really that styling. It doesn't flash back to those econo getters. Now, what this is the entry model for Jaguar. When I say that, I'm talking about price point. Usually going to start in the mid 40s. Now for me, of course, that's not an entry level. I like something a lot less expensive. Now for this vehicle, it is kind of their starting model, and there are tons of options where this $40,000 starting model can actually bump up almost to $90,000. Now when you look at the exterior of the XF, what you're going to notice is kind of a semi-coupe styling. Now overall, it's got about a 115-inch wheelbase, and it's just under 200 inches overall. So of course, it's not going to be confused with a two-door go-getter. Now what I like about this is the wheelbase is stretched just a little bit, and you actually have a little bit wider track in the back. So it does give you a lot of sport appeal, and it has nice dramatic styling lengths. Again, no comparison from whence we came, the X-Type, the S-Type, things like that. Now diving into the exterior just a little bit more, what I love, of course, is always body color wrapped around the whole exterior. Now we do have, of course, a hint of chrome, and I do like the wheels. They're not that flashy chrome, they're a little bit more brushed, and they're 20 inchers. Now, of course, they're low profile tires, and you're going to love the overall appeal of this vehicle. Again, it's got a sedan-like length, of course, but that coupe styling. Now, of course, on Jaguar, what you expect is the smart keys and the proximity entry, and that's exactly what this vehicle has. Now, what that means, as always, is you keep the key in your pocket. There is no old traditional, and you basically pull on the handle. Now, what, of course, my kids and all my other people that like to come look at this vehicle love to do is press this button and make it beep and lock and beep and lock. Now, one area you want to look at, of course, on the sedan is the cargo space. Can it hold everything I want to throw in it? And of course, the Jaguar does quite well here. Now, what I love first, of course, is the electronic release on the trunk. You press a button and it goes right up. Now, once you climb inside, you'll notice that this is a cavernous-like trunk area. There's actually a lot of space just past the opening here, way back in deep. Now, by the numbers, it's over 17 cubic feet. And of course, the best part of that is you can double it. And the way you double it is there's some release buttons. Right here, you just pull this lever and the seat folds into the cabin area. On this side, of course, there's another one. You reach inside and pull that, and the other seat folds down. Now what that does is it more than doubles the space and allows all the cargo and things like that, longer items, to slide right into the cabin area. Now, some dynamic elements that you'll notice that you may take for granted is the rear taillight assembly. Now, what I love about this is just different. It adds a little bit of wow factor to this vehicle. And what you'll notice, of course, is the vertical kind of illuminators for the blinker. Now, of course, you also have the wraparound taillight. This is above the norm that you'll find on other vehicles, as just a little touch of pizzazz, and it's just enough to kind of give you a little bit of wow factor. Now, when you look under the hood, there's going to be three basic power plants. You got the 2.0 liter four-cylinder engine, offers about 240 horses. Now, you got the mid-size, which is a 3.0 liter V6 engine like we have here. It's going to bump up about 340 horsepower. Now, the big, massive engine, of course, is a 5.0 liter V8 supercharged. Now, that's going to deliver about 470 horses. So each power plant obviously going to come with a little bit more power under the hood, a little bit more price tag, of course. Now, all those models are supercharged, or for the four-cylinder, of course, that's a turbocharged. Now, if you want even more spunk, there is the XFR. Now, the XFR is over 500 horsepower and delivers a lot of spunk off the line. Now, of course, if you really want to take it to a whole nother level, I've taken a little sneak peek for 2014, and there's the XFR S, which delivers even more spunk, mid 500 horsepower range. Now, by the numbers, getting off the line, of course, is what we're looking for. Now, typically on these vehicles, you're going to be about 121 miles per hour top-end speed for the V6 and the four-cylinder models. Now, as for 0 to 60, for the four-cylinder, you're going to be around about 7.1 seconds. For the Spirited model here, the 3.0, you're going to be around 5.7. Now, if you go with the all-wheel drive version, you're going to lose a few clicks. It's going to be around about 6.1 seconds to get from 0 to 60. Now, if you go up to this supercharged V8 model, you're going to take your numbers down to about 4.9 seconds and actually increase your top-end speed to around 155 miles per hour. Now, again, if you go to the top model, the XFR or the XFRS, you're going to take your top max speed to over 180 miles per hour and be in the low fours for 0 to 60. Now, last but not least, related to the power plant is the intelligent stop-start system. Now, what that is basically anytime you get to a stop position, you get to a stop sign, stoplight, the vehicle actually will shut off. Now this startled many of my passengers that actually thought we lost power. Now as soon as you take your foot off the brake, the engine reignites, re-energizes, and you get rolling. Now the thing I didn't like about that is it is somewhat startling. It is somewhat obvious that the vehicle shuts off and shuts on. Actually, people watching it may think you've actually broken down. There is a button to override this system where on the dash you actually press it. Problem is you actually have to select that every time you turn the vehicle on and every time you get in the vehicle. So I like for there to be some type of manual override that you can do where it will permanently stay off if you don't prefer that option. Now again, we talked about earlier, it's this key right here, the smart intelligent key. You don't need it out, just keep it in your pocket, put it in the middle, or whatever. Now when you go to start, of course, it's a push button, starts right up. And what you'll notice is this. Right here on the dash, the vents come open, kind of space age. Is it necessary? Is it overkill? Possibly, but this is a Jag, so why not? Now just looking at the overall appointments, of course you got nice plush leather, you've got heated seats on this vehicle, and you've got all the kind of creature comforts you would expect on a Jag, and they're endless here. We've got, of course, a sunroof, we've got a little bit of simulated wood grain, and of course you've got the power glove compartment just for ease. Now the engine comes equipped with an 8-speed automatic, and that of course is all centralized right here around this knob. Now what you will notice when you power this vehicle on, that knob actually appears, actually rises up. You dial in, of course, the transmission, the selector you're looking for, and you also have some corresponding buttons for some sport modes, slippery situations, and things like that. Now by the numbers, by legroom, you've got about 41 inches up front, got about 36 inches in the back. Now of course I refer to this as that 5-inch window we have, where anything more than that you're going to start to get cramped back there. You'll notice your knees touching the back of the seats and things like that. But overall, Jaguar did it well. Got nice appointments, nice leather, good color choices, a hint of wood grain, everything for a regal Jaguar S type styling. Now what I love about Jaguar is kind of that limo-esque kind of feeling, and what I'm referring to is you got a rear screen that you can power up to keep the sun out, keep people looking in. Now I always love when they have them on the side doors again, so you kind of have that personalized styling that you can, you know, hide people out and the sun out. You also have dual lights right up above that individuals can select whether on the long trips and are trying to read and things like that. Now we tested out the 2013 Jaguar Xf, and now what I talked about earlier is I like it because it's not from whence we came. It is not the S-Type, it's not the X-Type when they try to get that Econo line going. What this is Jaguar reinvented. It's Jaguar's coupe styling in a sedan overall body lines. Now again, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.